So when you talk about software development lifecycle, you're not a software engineer. Your job is not to build software. However, software or applications, apps like TikTok, Amazon.com, WhatsApp apps, Facebook app, they're all built on top of a server, right? They're all built on top of a server. So you take an EC2 instance like this, right? EC2, this is an EC2 instance server, and then you install things on this server like Java, PHP, Python, you know, install things on there. Then you give this server to the development team. They go ahead and build an application, code the application, and deploy the application. Then it comes out to be like a real application that people can go and log in and use. Okay. So in the beginning, before you even begin the company, when they create AWS accounts, this is an AWS account. Most companies have this structure. Please pay close attention. If you're doing something, start doing the thing. Wait, let me finish this particular topic before you come back. This is so important. This is the foundation of CI/CD pipeline. Quasi, this is the foundation of CI/CD pipelines. If you have seen CI/CD in the job description, this is the foundation of CI/CD pipelines. If you don't know this, you will not know CI/CD pipelines. You have 4 AWS accounts. 4 AWS separate environments. This is development account. This is testing account. This is staging account. And this is production account. Okay? This is it. Software development life cycle. I have taught this before, but people forget stuff. So I'm teaching it again. There's many things that I taught in December that you guys have forgotten about. The only way you're going to remember is if you start interviewing and they start asking you. Then you're going to go back and revise it. You're not going to revise everything. You forgot already. It's okay. You're a human being. You forgot about it. When they ask you in an interview, you will remember. You'll be forced to know it because you want to get the job that pays you money. Your motivation is money, but you're not just going to say it out loud in public. But deep within your heart, you want to make that a lot of money because you want to buy nice things and have a good life. That's the simple truth. So when a company begins, they have 4 accounts like this. Most enterprise companies. The development environment is meant for what? You guessed it. It's meant for development. It's meant for development. So when you have a development AWS account and you want to build an application, you want to build an application that will go to what? That a company will use, right? The real application that a company use is always in production. Production is what they use. This application here, geico.com, this one that you see, this is an application, is running from a production account. It's running from Geico's production account. Okay? It's running from Geico's production AWS account. Maybe I should put it here. Production. Let me put AWS production account. That's very, very clear. This is an account, a separate account. If I go to Control Tower, I'll show you something here. Let me go to Control Tower. Control Tower is an AWS service that makes it easy to create and govern multiple accounts, multi-account environments. So I configured Control Tower a long time ago. And in this account in Control Tower, I have 4 accounts in here. I have the Domo account, which runs the Domo application. I have an audit account, which is a security account. I have a log archive account that archives all the logs. I also have a controller account that manages everything that you see here. Then I have a sandbox account, security account, management account, and root account. So these are the various organizational units, and these are accounts under them. If I wanted to add more accounts, I can just come here to management, sorry, dashboard, and accounts, and I should be able to add an account. Oh, oh, I did it to Terraform. So account factory, create account. There you go. And I can add one more account. Email, account name, added just like that. Boom, create account, done. This is how you add more accounts to your existing organization. Because as a company, they have multiple accounts, as I just showed you, right? So they're going to create control tower. That's what makes this happen. Control tower makes it possible, right? I'm going to put it here. Control tower enables multi-account creation within an organization. So here, if I go back to organization, how many organizations do we have here? We have root, we have management, we have sandbox, security, Domo. This is the company account. This is what a company uses for day-to-day business. But this is a security account here. This is not being used for to run any application. This is just used for security. Auditing is collected in this account, ending in 3.2. Logs are being archived in this account, ending in 1.9. Sandbox account is used to test applications. Then under management, you have the controller account, right? That controls everything. Then you have the root account here. This is where the bill goes to, the monthly bills and everything. So that's how these things will be. In a company, you have see about 10 organizations, you have the various departments that live in that company, then you have the various accounts. So finance department can have about 100 accounts, right? Because in those 100 accounts, each business unit, if you know what a business unit is, so under finance, you may have, let's do Geico. Let's take Geico, for example. Under Geico's finance department, we'll have 6 business units. This is not IT, this is business. Understand the business side of things. Geico's finance department will have 6 business units. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. These business units is for the finance. This is what they sell. This is the services they offer. This is not internal. This is external. Internally, in finance department will have payroll. They'll have 401k. They'll have retirement. They'll have benefits. All those things, vision, dental. But this is what Geico sells to the public. So they have 6 business units. We call them value streams, but these are business units that this is what, because for you to be able to spend money to create accounts like this and create resources in AWS, you need to justify how money is coming in. Let's forget about IT for a second. Put your IT high table. This is business now. In companies, you see companies have a lot of money, which create things, they pay you $150,000 a year. There is justification behind all of this expenditure. I know this because I'm part of the strategic budgeting department, or when we do budgets at the end of the year. If you're going to hire 2 engineers, you have to show how those engineers are going to contribute to the company to making more money. That's how we ensure that the company stays profitable and we don't go bankrupt. So these 6 business units will sell auto insurance, will sell home insurance, will sell renters insurance, will sell business insurance, will sell boat insurance, will sell motorcycle and ATV insurance. So which one do we make the most money among all of this insurance? It's auto. So when designing the auto application, in the beginning, or constantly, this auto business unit is going to have at least 10 to 12 accounts, 10 to 12 AWS accounts alone. Alone, he will have these 4 accounts that is used to develop the application, right? Then it will have another 4 accounts that is used to create any attaching applications, and another 4 accounts that it's for new releases when they want to release a new auto. That's it. So auto business unit alone has 12 accounts. 12 accounts alone. But let me keep it very simple. Let's just say renters insurance. Renters insurance. We want to build this a particular application, right? Renters insurance. That means that we want to just create, because this is a huge platform, right? So you have one, two, three. So all these applications will create. Then they'll combine them now in just one Geico.com. So one Geico.com has its own account that is connecting to all these other accounts production environments. So what am I talking about? You will have a main account here, production account, but this is for the www.geico.com. So that EC2 instance that is running geico.com, that EC2 instance is here. Right? But all other accounts that runs, this is a renters, insurance. You have another production account. Auto insurance. They all connect to what? This account. Isabel, how did they connect? IAM what? These accounts all connect to this main account here to produce geico.com. How did they connect? IAM what? IAM rules. Thank you. Cross accounts, IAM rules. This is coming your interview. Guarantee this is being your interview. This is the only IAM question they're going to ask you. How do you connect multiple AWS accounts to talk to each other? IAM, cross account IAM rules. That's going to be your interview. Guarantee you. This is the only question they ask when it comes to IAM rules. Most of the time, they don't have any money questions for IAM rules because IAM rules is so straightforward. But the most complicated question they can ask you is 2 accounts connected across account IAM rules. Send that same thing down. Auto, boat, insurance, they all connect to this main account. So why did they do this? To avoid what? A single point of failure. Avoid a single point of failure. If you run auto and renters in here and this goes down, and let's say something happens on this server caused by auto, then renters will also go down too, right? Then everything goes down. No. If auto insurance goes down, Geico.com is still up and running. But at this moment, auto is not available. But Geico.com is still up and running. You can come here and you see auto will be blurred out, it'll be grayed out. But you can still buy homeowners, renters, and business. Business keeps going. If renters goes down, the other ones are still there. That's the reason why we don't run all the things in the same account and the same server. We run each and every one of them in their own account, in their own specific servers, and then we connect them through a VPC. This has some VPC, and we do VPC peering and cross account and cross-account IAM roles connection to this account, and then you have geico.com. If something happens with this VPC and connections happening, renters.com, renters insurance will disappear from here. Boom, it will disappear. But you still have other things going. Again, it's a business first. It's a business first. We're here to sell services and make money. IT comes second. If you have to create servers or do things for the business to sell and make money, go ahead and do them. So we have a full environment here. Dev, test, staging, and production only for the renter insurance business units. Renters insurance business units. This is their AWS account. They have their own department. They have their own cost center number. I'm going now deep into accounting and cost center. Their department number is 98612. In the budget for the company for the year, this is their budget. They have given them a budget of, they have $21.7 million. That's the budget for renters insurance. That means that whatever application they create, whatever they spend, they have to sell renters insurance. That's going to bring in more than this for the fiscal year 2025. This is their budget for infrastructure costs. This is the budget for infrastructure costs. Budget for infrastructure. That means the EC2s, the volumes, infrastructure costs. This is their budget for the year fiscal 2025. Does this include only for servers? No, don't get me wrong. This also includes hiring engineers, hiring SRE engineers, paying them a salary. When I say this is the budget for infrastructure costs for that application, all infrastructure engineers, security engineers, support engineer, on call, EC2 instances, S3 buckets, everything is in this money. So the director needs to know what he's doing. As you guys have heard in America, Elon Musk is investigating the government, and the IRS, they were buying donuts of $32,000 a day for donuts when the employees work from home. So if Geico has a budget of $21,700 and you see a VP buying EC2 instances from AWS of one EC2 that is supposed to cost $1, he's paying $25 for it. Where do you think the extra money is going to? There's bribery and corruption in America as well. Not only in Cameroon. America has some serious high-level mafia, bribery and corruption that is terrible. You cannot buy donuts for $32,000 every single day for the last 18 years. You replace office coffee cups. You replace 24 coffee cups. 24 coffee cups, and you spend $1.2 million $120,000 to replace 24 coffee cups in the IRS office. So these budgets that you're seeing, like I said to you guys, I had a recording that I sent out that the woman was telling me 144 salary, and at the end of the day, I said 145. I said some bad language. They came back and asked me, how much minimum would you take? I said, I would take 190. And they said, okay, let's go ahead and do the interview. These companies have money. Do not feel sorry for them, guys. I'm telling you right now, stand my on the ground. Do not feel sorry for these companies. Do not feel sorry for them. Don't think they're paying you $120,000. They're doing too much. That is 0.00000 0.0000% of the company. Your department alone has more than $20 million in budget, and they're only paying you 110,000. Do not feel sorry for them. I repeat, do not feel sorry for them. Do not just, I know it's your first job, whatever they tell you, oh, we're only paying 110, you're gonna just say yes. I don't mind. Take the first one. But this next one, when you have gone and you're working for 6 months, 1 year, and you have experience, do not accept 110. You have to move up. I started at $89,000. That's what I started at. And now it's way above 200,000. You have to keep moving up. Do not feel sorry for these companies. I have seen the budget. I'm part of the budget committee. I've seen it. I'm flying to New York next month. The hotel I'm staying at one night is 850. I don't have to stay there, but that's where they want me to stay. So don't feel sorry. Try the insurance companies. Insurance, healthcare, and finance. Insurance, healthcare, finance. Capital One, Bank of America, Geico, State Farm, Allstate, healthcare companies, these big hospitals, Medical City, they have a lot of cash. Do not feel sorry for them. Don't go in there saying, I will take 90,000. No, 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 no. Your minimum right now should be 110, 120. Minimum. Do not go below 110. Do not even try. Aside the fact that you know Terraform, you know Prometheus, you know Grafana, you know how to do monitoring, Datadog, you have created Splunk. Do not go below 110. Please don't even try. Don't even mention it to me. I don't want to hear. You have the skill sets, man. They're supposed to pay you the money because you have the skills. Okay, let me get back to class. Software development lifecycle. They want to build a software called geico.com. But before that, they want to build, renters insurance. They want to build um, auto insurance. What else insurance you have? They want to build business insurance, homeowners insurance. So let's go back here and we're going to copy this. We're going to replicate this environment. That's renters. You're going to have, oh, this one right here. You're going to have, um, we're going to call this homeowners. I'll just name them under here. Homeowners insurance. We're gonna dive deep into this. This is very important, guys. Especially if you're gonna become a director tomorrow and you're the one start, maybe 5 years from now, you're director of DevOps in your company, and because this is the foundation of DevOps and CI/CD pipeline and all these other things, right? This is auto insurance. This is renters insurance. Renters insurance is when you stay in an apartment complex and you have to pay $10 a month for insurance in case fire burns the apartment. The insurance company will pay your landlord, something like that. That's what it is. Auto insurance is your car. Homeowners insurance is when you own a home, you pay insurance every year to that home, to the insurance company. In case you have a fire in your house, they will cover most of your belongings and a part of the house, right? That's what homeowners insurance is. And then what else do you have? Let's look at what else. What other one do you guys want to look at? Homeowners, renters, auto, and what else? Pick one, guys. Isabel, which one should we look at else? What's that?
Business.
Business insurance. Okay. So there's one more. Business insurance. And this is for your business. If you own a business, You have employees, they're required to have business insurance. If an employee fall, you cover, they cover them. They call it workers' compensation. You have to compensate them, right? And all these accounts that you see here are going to connect to the main account that runs geico.com. And they're all going to connect to what? Cross accounts, IAM rules, and right here you have cross accounts, IAM rules. And then you also have what? VPC peering. You're going to peer the VPCs, right? VPC peering, VPC peering. So they can talk to each other on the network. VPC peering. And then here, VPC peering. So somebody about, but Tibo, how does all these accounts connect? Okay, renters insurance has its own application, but they're just putting a button, a link here. So when you click this and you click on start my quote, it takes you to what? You put your zip code, it takes you to the renter application server. You put your zip code here and you start your code. You see, that's going to have gone to property sales. The link has changed. If you go back, it was geico.com. This is just a front page. This is just the web server. Remember that 3T that we'll talk about, guys? This is just the web server. This is just the web server layer. This is the web server layer that you are. When you now click this and you can start my quotes, it now takes you to a different site. Now you're now under renters insurance server. You left from, when you come here, you click renters, it now takes you now to this site. So this is just the front page of geico.com. But the real applications actually live on this side. So if you come here, if renters is down, you come here, you click renters, it will not work because renters will be grayed out. But everything else is still there. So this is what Geico uses to produce, show to the public that when you want to buy renters insurance, you click the link and it takes you to this server. Now you're on the actual server and you start putting information, you start putting your zip code, right? And then you start, you start building now your code. Now you're on sales.geico.com. Now you're in business. Renters, POL, rated, That's it. Sales.geico.com. That's the site that you're on now. You're no longer on geico.com. You're now on this side now. That's how it works. But how do we even get here to this point? Because this is renters insurance production account. This is auto insurance production account. This is home insurance production account. This is business insurance production account. Before you even start developing the application, what happens? You need to take an empty EC2 instance. You take an empty VPC. Well, let me go back. Let me start from the beginning. An empty VPC. Where's VPC? You put an empty VPC in here. When I say VPC, you just know that when a VPC has subnets, route tables, security group, everything, okay? Guys, in the industry, when they say create a VPC, they're not going to tell you to create subnets and everything else. You should just know that when you're creating a VPC comes with subnets, route tables, and the various gateways that you need. If you need a public subnet, you're going to have an internet gateway. If you need a private subnet, they don't have to create an internet gateway. That's just something that you should know off head. Nobody will tell you. VPC comes with all those things. It's like saying that, hey, go to the market, buy me things to make stew. You no longer buy tomatoes and come back now. You buy onions, you buy pepper, you buy everything that comes with stew. Am I making sense? Kwasi?
Yes, it's making sense.
Right. VPC comes with when you create a VPC, you're going to create a subnet, the gateways, the route table. So when they say create a VPC, Don't just go and create an empty VPC and then leave it like that and come and say, no, it's not complete. VPC comes with everything that comes with it. Same as when you want to make stew, you buy everything for stew. Okay, enough said. So I'll just say VPC in here. I'm not going to specify security group, subnet. You get the point. So we're going to call this a development VPC. This is going to give it the name dev. This is a dev dash VPC. That's what we're going to call it. Then the EC2 things that I want to use now, we want to create some application here. We're going to come here. We're going to put some EC2 instance in here because we want to create an application. What's the application I want to create? Renters insurance application. I want to create an application that can collect a user's name, information, and will sell them renters insurance. So this is going to be what? This is going to be a dev EC2 instance. Dev-EC2. That's the name we're going to call it. In the dev.EC2, dev.gpc, in the dev-security group, in the dev-subnet. Everything is dev, 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 because in the dev, AWS accounts, AWS development accounts. That's where you're operating to build an application.
Please, I have a question. I wanted to know, is it possible to create EC2 instance first before you now add the VPC, or you have to
No,
create it
no.
first?
VPC is your house. You have to create VPC first before you create the EC2 instance. Is that clear?
Yeah.
The first thing you create is VPC. VPC is the first thing you create. What's the second thing? Let me take a break. Let's talk about that.
Subnet.
Order of creation. VPC. What's the next thing?
Subnet.
Okay. And it can either be what? Public or private. Okay. What's the next thing? If public,
The
if
gateway.
what do you create?
The gateway.
Gateway.
Internet gateway.
Label. You have to be specific. If it's a public subnet, create an internet gateway. If it's private subnet,
NAT gateway.
Not for upgrade.
okay, not gateway. After that, what next?
Root.
The route.
Route table association with subnets. Okay. After that, what do you create?
Security group.
Thank you. After you have security group, now what else do you create? VPC is done. VPC is created.
Mhm.
Okay, so what else do you create now? Now you want to begin creating an application. So create a
EC2.
VPC. What do you create?
EC2.
Here you go. After that, what do you create? After the EC2 instance is created, you have installed Apache, you have configured Java, you start building your application. Now you want your application to host some images, some videos, some objects. What next do you create?
S3 bucket.
S3 bucket. Now, how do you connect your S3 buckets to your EC2 instances? What do you create?
IAM role.
IAM rules. Good job. And then when you create IAM rules now, the final thing for you to deploy your application, what do you create?
Users.
Mm-mm. We did it on last week. To tie everything together to deploy your application, what do you create?
Environment.
Huh?
Environment.
No.
AWS.
We did it last week. Come on. Huh? How do you serve your
Oh,
application?
Yeah. Oh,
How do you
oh,
sell the application to users?
AWS config
No,
configuration.
we did it last week, guys. We spent,
Ask the question again, please.
you've created everything. Now you want to put everything together to launch your application so users can start connecting to it and using it. What do you create? Jesus is Lord.
Load balancer.
Come
Oh,
on, man. Load balancer.
answer, yeah.
Yo, that's it. That's it. Load balancer is the last thing. When you have a load balancer, you connect it to your domain name, www.isabel-fashion.com. That's it. C'est fini. These are the steps. And guess what? These are the steps that you create with Terraform. That's powerful. You can do this manually, but it's click, 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 too many clicks. But this with Terraform, change your life. It's life changing. Let me show you the image. Where is it? I think it's here. This is it. Load balancer, database. Oh, we didn't add database. We forgot about database.
No, but it's part of EC2 instance now. It's part
Yes,
of
yeah,
Terraform.
yeah, right. EC2 instances and database.
Okay.
Yes. Because databases store the data while S3 bucket stores the objects, right? Database store the block-based storage that it stores the objects, right? It um stores objects, which is what images, videos, PDFs, right? Those things that looks all this image like you see here, right? This what was this guy called? This guy, this thing, this guy, what is it called? Gecko? Gecko? This is an image, right? If you say you can save this image to your desktop. And you can Gecko waving. That's the image name. Gecko waving. You can save the image. You can open the image and see. And see. That's the image. You can use the image and do whatever. Right. Also, let's go back here. What did I want to show you? This image has a link as well. So if you wanted to copy image link and go and look at the link here, let's do a new one. If you want to look at this link here, this is where the image is stored. It's stored in a public bucket under layout images, under homepage, under design 6, and that's the image name. This is the location where that image is stored. So that image is put in an S3 bucket, and then the S3 bucket populates the EC2 instance, geico.com. And then so now the image is appearing on geico.com. When you open the image, you're going to see this link because it's on the site. But the actual image itself is stored in an S3 bucket that we don't see. We don't see it. But this is the image link. So on that server, you will see geico.com they have a folder called public. And then they have layout and they have homepage, design 6. What does this design 6 pins tell you? Means that they have design 5, design 4, design 3, design 2, design 1. They're now at design 6. And in this folder, they have other images in that folder that serve the application. This right here is not an image. It doesn't have a link. It's just a form. This is a button, right? This is an image. You can copy the image link and you can see the image link here. That's the image name. This is an image. Copy image link. You can see it here. You see that? Public layout images, home pages, and it says Geico service image. Is it making sense now? This is a Linux instance. How do you know it's a Linux instance? Because it's /. Windows, it'll be /. It means that Geico is hosting its website on a Linux instance. It could be Ubuntu, it could be Red Hat. It doesn't matter. It's Linux because you have seen that it's /. If it's Windows, it's going to be / like that. Windows is always /, while Linux is /. Like that. Okay, good. Now that we know. So how do we get here? How do we even get to production? They have a dev VPC. They have a dev EC2 instance. You go in there, you configure everything, you install Apache, you install the web browser, everything is there. You configure it. Developers come and connect to it. Developers, SREs create it. SREs, which is you, create the dev environment. Developers use the dev environment to code and develop software. They use the dev to develop software. Right? When they're done developing the software, they've done the code and everything. SREs also go ahead and create the testing environment. How did they create the testing environment? Using Terraform. They're going to create a test VPC, all those things. Test VPC, and they're going to create an empty EC2 instance. Nope, that's not what they're going to do. What do they do? Because that the developers have already developed stuff from here, what do they do? They take an AMI image of this EC2, right? Isabel guessed it. They take an AMI and they create a new instance, and they call this test EC2. What's happening? Tests. So the AMI from here is taken and creating the test EC2. Oh, we forgot. What about the S3 bucket? What are the extra things in there? Guess what? You guessed it. The S3 bucket is never in the VPC, right? S3 is an internet resource, right? It's never in the VPC. S3 is always out of the VPC, right? The S3 bucket is always out of the VPC. So S3, that's here. Let me just remove this a lot of stuff and just do S3. Guess what? Guess what this bucket is called? Dev S3 bucket, right? Okay, the images are uploaded here. Are we going to use the same images here? No. Maybe we'll just put some images here like that were not serious. Something, some file. But in this one here, we're gonna put some serious images. We're gonna go buy images from what do you call that site? What's that site called? Google Photos, whatever. Something that has high quality. We're gonna buy it and come and use it here in our application. So we're gonna upload brand new images here. SRS create the environment. Who comes and do the testing? You have testers, not developers anymore. You have testers or QA, quality assurance testers. They run testing framework. What are some of the testing frameworks that are run? They run JUnit testing. They run regression. You don't need to know all this stuff because you're not a tester. You're an infrastructure engineer. Regression testing. They run integration testing. Example of integration testing that you may need to talk about it a little bit. Integration testing is what? When you connect EC2 to S3, because the images and files are stored in the FC bucket, and the application that runs here needs to use those images as well as seen in here, right? These images live on S3. Because this bucket needs to talk to S3, this is called EC2 S3 integration. So you need to test the integration between EC2 and S3. You have created your IAM roles, right? You're using the IAM roles here. So we need to make sure that this connection between EC2 and S3 never breaks. Because when we get to production, you're going to have the same thing in production. So we need to make sure it never breaks. So we need to test it here. So how do you test it? You go to S3, you upload files, you see if you show them EC2, you change things, you play with it, you break it, you fix it, you break it, you fix it. That's the testing piece of it. That's testing. Now, we are now ready to deploy the production. But before deploy, we need to stage it first. You need to stage it. If you know what staging is, like when you're performing, or you're about to do a concert as an artist, the day before you need to do rehearsals. You need to stage the application. So the same thing here that you see here is going to go here. But we're not going to just create a brand new EC2 instance, right? What are we going to do, Isabel? We're not going to create a brand new instance. What are we going to do? AMI. AMI. We take an AMI from this test instance and create. After we've tested it, we've made change, we've tested it. Okay, good. This server with the application in there is ready to go. Right? We've tested it. It's ready to go. Boom. We'll now call this the staging EC2 instance. And then this is what? This is tests S3. Sorry, staging S3. And then the VPC here is what? Staging VPC. SRE creates the staging environment. Oh, wow. Okay. That's how SRE has worked. But guess what? You're using the same Terraform script, but you just change the name from test to staging. Aha! You go to your variables, my friend, my dear friends, you go to your variables file, and you just change the name from, where is it at? Dev to stage. That's all. That's all you have to do. Very simple. In your variables.tf file, you come here. The AMI stays the same, AMI. Instance type, you just say dev instance, test instance. That's all you're doing, right? Very simple. It's the same code. You're not writing code from scratch. You're just changing the name. So here, when you're creating the resources, instead of test S3, you call it staging S3, and you call it staging environment. That's all it is. Staging environment. That's it. Oh, we bought some images that we will use to test the application. Did we buy new images? No. We just copy the bucket. So we'll do a what? A bucket to bucket copy, which is what? CP is CP copy S3 tests dash S3. We copy that bucket to S3 colon staging S3. That's the copy command. You run the copy command on Linux. You run it. You run this command. Where do you run this command? You run this command from the staging EC2 instance or staging VS Code. You can go to VS Code and put your credentials for this bucket or this bucket, and you run this command and copy the files from here to here. That's the command. CPS3, copy the files, everything from this bucket, copy it to here. But here you don't copy because in dev, we're using really trash or just whatever. You see? But here we do the AMI. Okay, now we're ready to go to production. This is for renters insurance. Oh, Debo, how do you take an AM? How do you copy an AMI from here to here? Oh, AMI, AMI. Go to AMIs. Look at this AMI image. Actions. Copy AMI. Copy the tags, copy the volumes, everything. And where is it? Hold on. This is the account ID. Copy AMI. The copy has been initiated. Oh, we're making a simple copy. Oh, no. Share AMI, not copy AMI. Where it is. No. AMI catalog. There's a way to share your AMI with another account. Unless I'm not going to remove that option. Edit AMI permission. Right here. This is it. So this particular AMI, if you want to share with the next account, which is in this case, dev account, once you share with test account, come and add the next account ID here. So dev, once you share an AMI with test, you take the test account ID, right? And come and add that account ID here, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then we share the AMI. That's it. When we're done, we'll click Save Images, Save Changes, and it will show that we're sharing with that. That's it. We're sharing it. So if you got this AMI, you see that we're sharing with this account ID. This account ID is fake. It's not a real account ID, so it doesn't matter. Okay? And now if you go now and log into this account, go to AMIs, you will see this AMI in there, and you now use it to create your instance. Same thing here, same thing here, same thing here. Now we're ready to go to production. I'm gonna move all of these guys to the side.
People have a question.
Yes, go ahead.
Does it take them to do for the process of testing and staging? For how long do they allow the
It can take 6 months.
wow?
Yeah, I know. That's what I said too. I said, wow. That's exactly what I said when they told me that. I'm like, wow, what are you really testing, man? No, Isabel, to be realistic with you, it shouldn't take that long. But because we are just lazy and we don't want to work, it will take about 3 months to develop it. Oh, I'm still working on you hear somebody say, they'll say, hey, Isabel, have you created the IAM role to connect EC to the S3? You're like, yeah, I'm still working on it. I just figured out the policy part. I'm still working on it. This is Monday. Next week, they ask you, hey, Isabel, how's the integration going? Oh, yeah, I finally created a policy. So this week, I'll be looking into how the creating a role. It's okay, cool. We're moving forward. Next, they ask you, how is integration going? So I created a role. Finally, it's created. The role has been created. And but now I'm looking to do the integration. So it's just waiting for team to create a instance and now connect to it. That's 3 weeks gone. The following fourth week now, hey, what's the update? So yeah, the role has been created. I'm just waiting for team. Team had some issues creating the EC2 instance. There was a connection instance of the VPC. So the network team will get back to him once he has, then I'm going to create it. 5 weeks. 6 weeks come. It's always the next one. Yeah. So the EC2 has been created. We finally created. Team finally worked the network and they finally created the instance. So next week I'll be connecting with team and the network team. We're going to connect to it and then try to do the integration. 7 weeks. Next week, following week 7. We did the integration today. We had some issues. Some things is failing. Something to do with the security team. So I've opened up a ticket to the security team. They'll get back to me, next week, and then we'll figure it out. Week 8, we met with security team. It was a certificate issue. We requested the certificate to be added to the encryption key, and then we'll figure it out there. Week 9, we figured it out. We're able to create the IAM role. We created integration, but we need to test it to make sure it's working. Week 10, integration has been created and its testing is working fine. So it took 10 weeks. 10 weeks, something that we can do today in 10 minutes. It takes a company 10 weeks to do. Not because it's not straightforward, but there's many, many things involved. Oh, before you create an integration with S3, you have to request permission with the security team. They have to put encryption to it. It has to be secure. There's just so many things that happens. So when they're actually in an interview, give a reasonable point in time. Development takes about four to 6 weeks. Development alone takes 4 to 6 weeks. Testing can take another 3 weeks or 4 weeks. So that's 6 weeks, so that's 10 weeks. Staging can take about 2 weeks or 3 weeks. When you get to staging things, because you have the same thing over and over again. Staging is the same thing like testing, but you're now confirming more integrations, is ready to go live, we'll sign the contacts, we'll do some advertisements out there, release 2 is coming. Staging is like real now. So staging can take another 2 to 3 weeks. That's 6 plus 4, that's 10 plus 2, that's another 2, that's 12 weeks now. That's 3 months. And now we now prepare for production, which has to be a weekend, most likely because we're going to go down. Shut down the application is going to be a weekend. Then we'll go live. So it can take about 3 months. Minimum. I'll tell you right now, the minimum for any company, I don't care how fast they are. Netflix is really fast, but the minimum is 3 months. Minimum from development and production, minimum to build an application is 3 months. For anybody who is a superman, I don't care whether you're Facebook, Netflix, Twitter, it's 3 months. So that's your answer. It takes at least 3 months to build one application. I'm talking about only for renters, 3 months. Auto, 3 months. Wait, 3 months. Unless you hire multiple developers for multiple different business units and they're all working at the same time, you're not going to achieve all 4 of these things in 3 months' time. There's no way. Mm-mm. Like I said, when you're developing things and building new things, things will happen. Issues will occur that is not, is beyond your control. For example, Isabel screen integration with S3 and EC2. She tried to create it and it's having a failure. She goes and complains and says, oh no, you're supposed to open up a ticket with the security team because they're supposed to give you a certificate for it. You do not know about it. It's beyond your control. And these are the things you speak about in the interview because this is what happened on the job. You know, for you, it would take one day to create an IAM role and connect it to EC2. But when you go to connect to the EC2, it's failing because security has put a policy or rule around it saying that you must have a certificate added to the S3 bucket with the key with the encryption. You do not know about this. So it's going to delay you for another month. So they'll ask you in an interview. So what do you do when you have such delays? You say you work on other projects. You pick up something else and start working on it. Maybe you use the time to write a document about Terraform best practices or monitoring best practices. You spend your time doing something else. Don't say that you sit and you wait. No, 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 no. Mm-mm. You don't wait. This is an opportunity for you to maybe learn and get a new certification, you know, or write on document best practices or do something with your life. Don't just sit down there and say, I'm going to wait for security team to come back with me. But, I'm going to follow up with security team once a week or so to check on the progress. But while I'm waiting for that, like for my job to be done, I will do something else. I will create some best practices or build some documentation or prepare for certification or, something that was going to benefit me or the company. You have to also look at your benefits too. Companies like when you want to always keep yourself up to date because they see you as someone who is always going to stay up to date. That means that you value yourself and your knowledge. So they want to keep you. If you don't want to learn new technology, they're not going to want to keep you. So that's why I'm still here. Tell you that. I got certified. Examtopics.com. Yes, sir. Exam topics saved my life, saved my job. People are getting fired every day, guys. Last year, many people got fired last year. I stayed. They kept me because I got certified. So that's good. Now in production, guess what?
Wonderful.
Yeah, go ahead.
I don't know. I thought staging is meant to mirror what you are going to have in production.
Yes, yes, yes. I'm there. I'm getting there. Yes,
Okay.
yes. You're just one step ahead of me. Slow down, Tolu. So staging is exactly like production. He's right, right? But I'll tell you guys the difference because you have to know the difference, right? You're gonna have a production VPC. You're gonna have a production EC2. Okay. And this EC2 is what? This is a massive, massive instance. This is a C5 8x large, which has about 32 CPUs and about 64 gigs of RAM. Yes, this is production. This is the difference. Here you have some kind of a T2 medium or something like that. You have some small instance type. You have maybe a T4, T3 large, which is what? The T3 large is 8 CPUs and 16 gigs of RAM, something like that. That is the difference between staging and production. They are the same. The AMI from here is used, sorry, the AMI from here, the AMI from here is used to create this production VPC instance. But when creating the instance, you're creating a C5 8x large, right? The CPUs, CPU right here, right? That's what you're creating. Right? CPU, 15 GB of RAM, like that, right? So this is all renters insurance. Who created the production environment? Who takes the AMI and creates the environment? Who does that? You,
SRE.
you do. Think they're paying you 150 for sitting down and watching TV. This is why in your Terraform environments, you're going to have what? You're going to have a folder for prod, staging, test, and dev. You're going to have 4 folders in your Terraform deployments. You're going to CD into dev when you want to create dev work. When you want to create test work, you're going to CD into test folder. When you want to create staging work, you're going to CD into staging folder. When you want to do production work, I don't want to make no mistakes, and you ensure that it's production, you're going to CD into production environment. And this is where when you run things here, it's permanent, it goes live. Only in production do we create, staging, forgot to add it, load balancer. At the staging level, you're going to add load balancer. Okay? When you're developing, you're not going to test load balancer. Here, you're going to have load balancer, you're going to have load balancer. That's the difference. Here, it's just developing the application. Here, you're just testing it. Here in staging, you're preparing to go live. So you're going to have a load balancer here and test some connections and test this on. Some users are going to connect to it, test it. And then, but here, you're going to have load balancer, you're going to have auto-scaling group and everything. Both sides. Here, you're going to have load balancer, you're going to have auto-scaling groups, you're going to have all those configurations. What we did last week, you're going to have all of it here. And then when you like it and it's ready to go, you're going to go ahead and do the same thing here. But here, you're doing it much larger. And then now users start connecting here and running business. This is called a software development lifecycle. When you develop in a dev VPC, the dev EC2, dev S3 bucket, you like it, you push the AMI to a testing environment. If you have any scripts, code, whatever, you copy that code, you push it here. How do you copy it? You copy the code, like the file, CP file, this is copy the scripts, shell script, copy it. This is the copy command. Use the AWS CLI and copy it. CP, you have done it in Linux. You know how to copy files, right? In Linux, right? CP, this file.sh, copy it over. You test the application, do integration testing, regression testing, okay, EC2 failure testing, all that stuff. CloudWatch logs, monitoring the EC2 instance for failures, monitoring CPU levels, monitoring memory levels, monitoring storage levels. Test it. Oh, it's working. We'll create an AMI from there, and we'll create a staging EC2. Now here, you now add load balancer or auto-scaling groups. You add resources on the bucket. Connect the application, test it. You ask some few users, hey, can you guys connect and test this application? Oh, it's working fine. Everything is fucking fine. Okay, boom. Everyone approves. The director approves it. The application owner approves it. Check, check, check. We like it. Let's do it. You now schedule a production go live date. It's called go live. And you deploy, you go live. Breaking news. Renters insurance version 2.1 has been deployed. We are live. An email go out to the whole company. Renters insurance version 2 has been deployed. You start monitoring now. You now see here. When you click it, you see the changes have been applied. Everyone's happy. That's it. That is called a software development lifecycle. Now, when you develop something here, Kwasi, this is the question you're asking me. When you're developing something here, you are using Terraform to create everything that you create here. Your dev VPC, your dev EC2, dev S3, the subnets, everything is Terraform. When you run Terraform apply, everything Terraform apply is creating only within this account. Kwasi, when you run Terraform apply, it's only creating within the development account because your configuration in Terraform is the development account. Your access key, your secret access key is from the development account. So it stays here. Okay? When you're done creating the environment, that developed application, you're done testing, you again, Kwasi, you go and create an AMI and share that AMI with these accounts. And then you come into this account, you log into testing account, you take that AMI, you create a VPC. Sorry, you take the AMI, you keep the AMI, you use the AMI, but you create a VPC, a test S3 bucket, and you're going to use that AMI to create a test EC2 instance. So you follow your steps. This is the order of creation. Let me copy this and put this in the chat. This is the order of creation. Do not forget. In an interview, they'll ask you, okay, you say you create things with EC2. How do you do it? What steps do you follow? Like, what's your order of creation? This is it. This is it. I'm giving you guys in the chat. Please save it somewhere. That's it. So you create an AMI, you share the AMI with the EC2 instance with the account, testing account. Boom. You come here now. You now use Terraform again. You cd it into the test folder because you have copied the same code in multiple folders and changed the name to tests. If it's in a test folder, everything in there is called tests. Now you come here, you take the Terraform code, cd into test folder, go into that folder, take the AMI that you created from here and put it in that folder. You come out here, you go to the AMI in here. Where's the AMI? Variables. You come and change the AMI here. And you call this, you give it a description. Description. This is the test AMI. Boom. Save it. You go back. You now create VPC, test S3 bucket, test Sonnet, test everything. Boom, 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 boom. When you're done, you now create the test EC2 instance using that AMI. Developers come, test it, testers test it. If it fails, if something fails, hello, if something fails here and it's not working fine, what do you do? Classy, what do you do if something fails here? It goes back to development. It goes back to development. It goes back to development. Back to dev. That's what we'll call it. What goes back to dev?
The bug or issue.
The AMI. Come on, man. The AMI. All the software and everything is in the AMI. When you create an AMI from here and share the AMI with this account, this becomes the golden image. This becomes the golden AMI that we're now using to test our application. This AMI here is now the most up-to-date AMI. Versioning. This is the most up-to-date application. This one here is gone. This was like 2 weeks ago. This is most current one now because we're testing the application. And while we're testing the application, we may add few things here and there. If it's a major thing that we need to do, guess what we do? We're going to take an AMI from here and share the AMI back to this dev account. And we'll start developing again. And then when we're ready to go to test, we'll take an AMI from here, delete the old AMIs, and share a brand new AMI with this.
Sorry.
And create a new instance.
This part of the process, is it going to be done by SRE or tester?
SRE. SRE.
Okay.
Let me just proclaim this now to you. Anything to do with EC2, AMI, VPC, subnet, S3 bucket, security group is SRE. Cloud engineer, DevOps engineer, SRE. Anything to do with infrastructure, monitoring, creation, Terraform, deployment of EC2, IAM roles, policies is what? SRE is your job. Please, you're getting paid $150 to do this type of work. If you don't want to get paid that money, speak now. To make this process easy, AWS created a service called EC2 Image Builder. There's always something easy. There's always something easy. EC2 image builder can create an image pipeline. You can call this renters insurance underscore AMI pipeline. You choose the EC2 type that you want. You choose the run, how many schedules you want. Is it weekly? You want to create it weekly? You choose other scheduling, the recipes that you want. If you have some recipe you have created, you can create a new recipe. You want an Amazon machine image, you want a Docker image. You choose the AMI, you choose the things that you want to install on there and all that stuff, and that's it. This can assist with this. But this process, it's a very easy manual process. It's not hard. Hey guys, we found a bug in while testing the application. We see that the Java dependency is out of date. It's out of date, so we need to upgrade it. But we cannot upgrade it here because the base application wasn't developed here. The Java team needs to upgrade it and then change the code to match the current version. Because when you upgrade Java from Java 10 to 11, the code syntax might not work anymore. So because we need to upgrade the Java version, so from Java 11 to Java 10, and the developers need to change the code to the version 11 code or syntax, we cannot do it here in tests. So we need to take the AMI from here, share that AMI back to dev, create a new instance from that dev, create a new instance called dev-ec2 version 2, and then give the developers access to go in here. They're going to upgrade their Java version. They're going to change the code to match version 11. And then when they're done, they're going to tell we're done. We're going to come out and from the new EC2 instance version 2, we're going to create a new AMI, push the AMI to here, create a new EC2 instance called test.ec2 v2 and test the application. And if it works fine, we'll now go to staging v1. If we get to staging v1 and staging is acting up, we're going to go back to tests. If test is acting up, we're going to go back to dev and come back again. And when we get to here now, we're going to go to staging v2. If we go to production, everything is fine, we'll remain fine. If something goes wrong, we'll go back on production, back to stage. If we cannot fix it in stage, we'll go back to tests and back to dev and then back again. That's why it's called a software development lifecycle. It's a cycle. It's a cycle. You go all the way here. If something breaks here, we don't fix things in production. No, 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 no. We do not fix things in production. If something breaks here, we take it back. Oops, sorry. If something breaks here, if we know it's a development issue for sure, we don't even waste time. We take it back to dev. We just skip all the steps and take it back to dev. If we know exactly what the issue is, we'll just skip it back to dev. We don't even waste time. Back to dev. We develop it, call it version 3 or version 2, push it here, version 3, push it here, version 2, and then now push it here, version 2. That's why versioning is so important. In all your S3 buckets, you're going to enable versioning in all your S3 buckets. So this is the life cycle process. Any more questions before we continue?
Just a clarification.
Mm-hmm.
Back to this test environment. So it seems that the SRE is majorly concerned with the fundamentals, anything that has to do with the AMI, because I'm wondering what's not the work of the tester, which I believe they're meant to test the application itself.
Yes,
So,
yes. You, the SRE,
so we are testing dependencies or what?
Exactly. You're testing the dependencies, the underlying operating system, the underlying Java versions, the integration between EC2 and S3. The tester will come and say, hey, I need an image to show in the application. I have uploaded the image to S3, but I cannot see the image in EC2. Tolu, can you help me find why I cannot see the image in EC2? You go out to EC2 and you run an S3 command. You run an S3 ls command and you see all the buckets in there. You see all the images. But it's unable to see the image in there. So you go to S3, you log into S3, you go to the S3 bucket, you go to that specific image it's talking about. You go look at the image permissions and you see that the image permission is blocked. You've changed the permission now so that this bucket can see that image. And now you change the permission, you tell, hey, can you try again? He tries again and boom, he now sees the image. So you're going to work with people. You're going to work with testers. You're going to give them access to log in. They'll come to you and say, Isabel, hey, the new instance you created, how do I log into it? I cannot log into it. You tell them, what are you trying to use? I say, I'm using VS Code. You're like, oh no, we cannot connect with VS. Can you try log into the browser? Like, but how do I do that? Can you show me? You'd be like, okay, can you set up a meeting with me at 2 p.m. or 2:30 and I'll walk you through the process. You schedule a meeting with you on Zoom, you come online, you show them how to connect to EC2. That's your job as an SRE. Let's take a break. So this is only US East 1. They want you to deploy the same thing in US West 2. The same thing like this in a different region. So it means you have to just copy the same code, change the region to US West 2 in your code. Everywhere you see US, when you change to US West 2, you save it. Change your credentials, AWS configure to the new account in the new region, change it, and then deploy it. That's it. So you have 4 accounts here. You have 4 accounts here, only for rental. That's 8 accounts for rental. Auto has 4, 4, that's 16. Homeowners has 4, 4, that's 24. And then business has 4 on 4, so that's 32 accounts. 32 AWS accounts for 4 business units. So let me guess. How many accounts do you think Geico has? How many AWS accounts do you think Geico has? Give me a rough number. Anybody? Want to guess?
24.
What was that?
24.
Anybody else has a better answer? Quasi. Anyone want to guess? It's higher than that. I'll give you the answer. Geico has at least
92.
no. Stop, man. Just stop. You think Geico is a small company? Geico has at least 860 accounts. 860 AWS accounts. Okay? And that's a small number. That's actually small. It might be more than that. It might be about 2,000 accounts. I'm just being realistic. So if you have all these companies on your resume, Blue Cross Blue Shield in your resume, please don't go and mention that you guys only have 48 accounts. No, it's in the hundreds. It got to be hundreds. Geico has 860 AWS accounts. Everything has its own account. Everything runs in its own account because of the type of company they are. They are a very, very heavily secure, adverse company. So they want to run everything in its own account because they have very, very high security. Okay? That's the reason why they run everything has its own account. Okay? Any other questions, guys? I will spend the whole day today on software development lifecycle. I had a different plan today, but it's okay. I want to make sure this is understood because this is important. They assume that you know this stuff. They don't expect you to ask questions. They just assume that you know it. Any questions, guys? Okay. Let's see. We don't have enough time to get this done. Oh boy. Um, we don't have enough time, guys. Okay. Let's see. So this is clear, right? You guys want a screenshot of this, or you already took a screenshot? Hello? You guys,
Yeah, I took it.
you want me to send you guys a file? I can send a file. How do I export this as PDF? I can send this as PDF. Download and send this. Okay, maybe we can just cover the Terraform cheat sheet today. I don't know. And maybe that will help. File. How do I send this? Oh, cancel. I'm trying to send a file. Upload file. Download blank diagram. Blank diagram is what I'm sending. Okay, cool. So let's talk about things I want to talk about today. State file, right? Terraform. This is documentation, terraform.io. Mm, mm. So let's talk about Terraform. Let me clear this up. About Terraform state file. Don't save. Don't save actually. Okay. So I gave you guys this tool. This I sent it an email. It's called DevOps Directive. This guy, Sid Palace, I know him. He's from Greece. Created this easy to learn Terraform. It's only 2 hours, 38 minutes for the whole YouTube video. Very easy, actually. It starts about evolution of cloud, high level overview of cloud infrastructure, then the overview setup of setting up Terraform and instructions. Then you have some basics. Then you have variables and outputs, language features, modules, which modules is not very important anymore. And then this is how you manage multiple environments. So the dev, staging, production environments. So let me correct one thing. I know I just talked about this software development cycle, but on the job, because of how difficult it is to manage all 4 environments, there's one environment that we don't really use or really create. And that environment is this, is the test one. Why? Because we can test in staging and confirm in staging. If it's not working well, we'll push back to dev. We can confirm in staging, mimic staging to look like production. And if it works fine, we'll go to production. So some companies have removed their testing environment completely. Some companies still keep it. For educational purposes, I would say talk about all 4 environments. But in real life, we only have dev, stage, and prod. In real life, in real production, we only have dev, stage, and prod. We don't have tests because this testing and staging are similar, the 2 things. This is just pre-production. This is like production, but testing to go to production. But this is testing just for testing. So sometimes it's like, this is just waste, right? It's just waste. Why are we wasting money? Okay. So, yeah. Any other questions? Cool. Let's talk about the back ends. Hmm. So when we created Terraform in the very beginning, right? I want to open up the other folder, recent folders. We did the LLM apps. Let's see, SRE. Let's create some Terraform configuration. Let's create a provider.tf. And here it's what? Provider. Can somebody tell me the code provider? Uh-huh. What do I type?
AWS.
Yes. Enter. Uh-huh.
Mm,
Save that file. Save. I want to create EC2 now. EC2.tf. What do I type? Isabel, tell me the code for EC2.tf. Resource.
Resource
Mm-hmm.
AWS underscore instance.
Mm-hmm.
Then
Name
let's say
dev dash EC2. Mm-hmm. And then what else?
AMI.
Gonna grab that later. And then what else? Instance.
Type.
Do you guys get this? What I'm getting like this?
Yes.
Okay, instance type. It helps, right?
Mm-hmm.
T2.micro.
Okay.
Okay, cool. I want to create an
So you're
S.
not adding the tag to have the name so that the name will appear.
Okay, yeah, we can add that. Okay. Tags equal to open bracket. Uh-huh. Name.
There.
Dev dash EC2. And then environment. Dev.
Mhm.
Yes?
That's
Dev,
all.
save that file. Okay. Next thing I want to create an S3 bucket. S3.tf. And resource. Someone give me the resource for this one. Tolu, your turn. S3 bucket.
Uh, sorry, I'm trying to get it. I
Just
don't know it though.
get it.
S3.
Mhm.
I said cheese. I said cheese.
Tolu, I'm waiting for you. Go ahead. Somebody help him.
Yeah, we can do AWS S3 bucket.
AWS S3 bucket. Yes.
Mm,
You sure?
dash. Okay. Yeah, you have to put some dash
Not
underscore.
underscore.
Quasi, man. Your interviewer will laugh at you, man. You have to put some dash. What dash you talking about?
No, no underscore. Yeah, that's one.
Man, you need to take your life seriously, man. You know what you need to do, but you're just playing around. Like that?
No, between, yeah, you did the first one, and between S3 and bracket, you have to put another one.
Okay.
And you have to remove the one at the end.
Okay.
You need to put them. Yeah, that's good now. No, no,
No?
no. Yeah, that's good now. Now you open parentheses, or what do we call it? Parentheses.
You sure?
I don't know the name of the.
The same thing we just did here. What is this we just did here? Is
Yeah,
it
yeah, yeah. That's it. You have to open the bracket. Yeah.
like this?
Yes.
Are you
And
sure? Are you sure?
yeah.
Are you sure?
No, you have to put the name. You have to give a name to S3. Okay, let's go back. Let's go back to my script. To S3. Okay. Before
Can
opening
I
the
try?
bracket, before before opening the bracket, you need to open another quote and add a name. Yeah, S3. Yes. And now, just after that, you open the bracket.
It's not a bracket. What is it called?
Only braces.
Curly
Curly,
braces.
curly braces.
It's called curly braces. I'm sure
Okay.
your girlfriend has a curly hair. It's called curly braces. Curly
Okay.
braces. What's called curly braces. Okay.
Okay.
So what do we open up?
A curly braces.
Curly braces. All right. And then
And
mhm,
add bracket
bucket. Mhm.
equal. And you add the name you want to.
Would this name work?
The
No,
bracket.
it's generic.
Change. You
Okay.
need to pick. You need to pick some. Yeah, something very unique.
This name work.
Yeah, this one will work.
Okay, cool. ACLs. True.
This year.
ACLs.
I think this one is enough. You can add a tag.
Yeah, let's add a tag. Is it tag or tags?
Tag
Hmm?
tags. Tags.
Okay. Equal to.
Tags equal, yeah. Curly braces.
Laptop is slow today. Yeah.
into yeah, and name and file equal environment. Yeah, yeah, that's yeah things swings down.
That's it. Okay, cool. IAM.tf resource IAM underscore policy. Let's go to the documentation and grab that. Dot. Hold on. I just know how to get it. Like Terraform, AWS docs. I just do that and just get it from here. IAM policy. This is how I get it. I don't go through all that stuff. I just come here. That's it. IAM policy done. Come here. That's the code name. There's a path. This is a policy. Oop, copy that and use that. I forgot the R. I know I forgot the R there. Come here. Resource for an IAM policy. You're gonna call this a dev policy. A dev dash S3 dash policy. We're gonna call this dev policy. Path that from JSON code function coverage. There's a statement. EC2 describe all. We're gonna add another one. S3 and then star. Means everything they can do with S3. Come on. Right? And remove this guy up here. And then remove this guy down here. Save. That's it. Effect allow all. That's how you put the policy in there. These brackets might come back to bite us. But we have 4 pieces of code. Last thing, vpc.tf. Oh, vpc.tf. Rename. .tf. F. Okay, resource. AWS underscore VPC. Dev dash VPC. What do we need? Cider block. 10.0.0.0/0. Now we can say enable DNS host names. Enable DNS host names. Equal to true. Enable. Enable. Oh, it's twice. That's why. Then add tags. And sometimes I get bored writing this code, man. I don't lie to you guys. It's just, it's work, but just copy and paste it, man. You know what I mean? You get to a point where you're like, man, I'm tired of this stuff, man. Like, because you're doing the same thing over and over and over. At some point, after you know it, it's like, man, how much copy and paste, man? I don't have time to be typing, you know? And that's it. You have VPC. Let me close this. You have something is wrong here. It's supposed to be an equal sign here. Save that file. Save. You have VPC S3, IAM, and EC2. IAM policy and then IAM role. So you can print out resource, IAM underscore role. But here, we're going to use something called depends on. Depends on. So this IAM role depends on this policy. And you see, you just put it, click, it's help you. This, because you need a policy to create a role. So without this policy, this role will not create. Same thing here in VPC. Want to create a subnet. Resource. AWS subnet. Dev dash subnet. We'll just create one. And I'm going to say depends on equals. And you see it's referring to that VPC right here. Dev dash VPC. Like that. Okay. So what's the subnet thing? Oh, let's do the IAM role first. IAM role. IAM role. You can pass the policy. You need to pass this policy, this assume role policy in here. Right. So test role, and then this is a you can copy everything here. This is a basic example for IAM role. So put that in here. And we remove this name. I'm gonna call this dev role. But something needs to S3 that role. So this is dot ID. Tag is name. Oh, this is what's causing it. Come on, my system is getting slow. Tag is the name. The value is dev dash role. Why is this complaining here? The number of brackets don't match. Too many labels specify resource. Only two labels available resource loss. So there's a resource. There's a resource here. And there's also a resource somewhere else. Right here. So we're creating an IAM role called dev S3 role. It's going to depend on this policy. And then we're also going to put an STS assume policy for that role. In the VPC, we're creating a subnet. Subnet. AWS subnet, that is specific. This is a subnet. This is a VPC. This is a setup block that we're going to use. And this is a tag, so you can just copy this piece and use it here. So we can say vpc.main.id. You can say vpc let's remove this depends on first. Let's say something. I want to resolve all these issues. 1, 2, 3, 4. Remove these tags. Okay. Something is not right. Move everything here. Something. Resource. AWS underscore subnet. Underscore subnet. Name. Public subnet. Okay. Now VPC ID. VPC underscore ID that we're going to use. There's two ways, right? You cannot call this VPC that we're using up here. You can say AWS underscore VPC dot dev VPC dot ID, right? Dot this VPC up here, this one, right? Dot dev dash VPC dot ID. And then the CIDR block, you want to use 10.0.0, sorry, .1.0/24. Yes, yes. And then tags equal. You can name a tag whatever, right? I just have the habit of doing this format, right? Doesn't mean this is what it's supposed to be. Let's say name. Name. Was it dev subnet environment? Dev. I don't know. Save it. What I was trying to do is instead of using this, I'm gonna comment this out to do the hashtag. You can do depends on, and then you do the VPC like that. .id. But it's crime file. All right, it's crime file. Let's save it. Let's do something. Let's save the file. Save. My system is running slow today. I need to do an update. Save the file. Something is not saved. This one that was saved. Okay, let's see. It's crime file. Let's open up a terminal and see what's crime. So you open up a terminal, you're going to see problems here. You see one. Required attribute VPC ID not specified. An attribute name VPC ID is required here. Okay. Depends on VPC.dev.id. Okay. So let's comment that out instead. Cool. We might have to learn the depends on parameters some other time. Something like that. I want to use Zisha. So make sure our code is there. All right. And Terraform init. What's the error we're getting here? Invalid resource name. Public subnet. Why? Why is it saying invalid resource net? Why? Why? Passy, Isabel, today. Why is it coming about this? Hello?
I think there shouldn't be space there as a
Thank
character.
you. Thank you, my guy. Thank you. I did that intentionally. I'm going to show you guys a lot of errors today. And I'm going to run Terraform in again. The same thing. Why? Because I haven't saved the file. You guys will see all kind of errors today for yourself. Terraform init. Yay, initialize. Look at that. There's something called stage file here. Where is it? Oh, it's not here yet. This is just Terraform configuration I downloaded, right? That hidden folder. Okay. What's the next command I was supposed to run?
Terraform format.
Okay. Everything is formatted. Next command.
Validate.
Terraform.
Validate. Hey. Expect other blocks to contain a valid network value. Got this. What's the issue? 16 and 28. Got 0. Okay. 10.0.0.0/0. What's the error? What's the issue?
The
What's
net,
the issue?
the net
I
mask,
think, yeah,
Go ahead, guys.
the net mask 0 is not correct.
What is it supposed to be?
16.
Yay! He passed the test. I was doing it the whole time. Nobody's corrected me. Everybody's like, okay, that looks sick. This okay. On to see the error. This is gonna happen on the job. Good job. So you see when you see an error like this, it's telling you the line number 2 on vpc.tf. You go to vpc.tf, look at line number 2, and you say, it doesn't look correct. Oh, it's like, and you fix it. Now you come back and you want to validate again. This is why it's important to run these validate commands. It will validate your code for you. Successful. Yay. What's the next thing?
Plan.
No, Isabel, no. What is the next thing?
Terraform plan.
Terraform plan. What's a plan? It's just a plan. Hey. You're already a senior engineer. You're just telling people plan. You're already a senior engineer. Guy, Isabel is already working in some company for the last 5 years. He's just telling you run a plan. You already know what to run. Nah, man. It's Terraform plan. Yes, finish. Just complete the sentences. Oh, what happened?
as a provider, you forget to put
Wow.
the US
Oh, you
is
did all
one.
this thing on purpose. How can you put US is without saying -1?
Where did I put this?
Provider TF.
Okay.
Why the
Oh, okay.
At the beginning, I knew you were gonna do it.
Okay. Let me run Terraform plan again. Let's see if it works. Okay, cool. So you guys are seeing all these errors, right? Okay, cool. Let's see plan. Oh, what happened? Another error.
You have to change it everywhere.
Everywhere. Where? Tell me now. Where should I change it again?
AWS provider, go back to provider.
Yeah, I saved the file.
AWS.
This is a different error. Look at the error. Retrieving AWS account details, validating provider credentials, retrieving caller identity from SCS parameter, response error, successful follow through request ID, invalid client token ID. The security token included in the request is invalid. What does that mean?
It probably can't validate your connection to your AWS account.
Okay, that's like a nice English language phrase. What does that really mean?
You have to do AWS configure again.
Okay, and then AWS configure. What do I do from there?
Enter,
Mm-hmm.
enter,
Mm-hmm.
enter.
Mm-hmm.
I think and try again.
Okay. What's the error? Kwasi knows the error. He's laughing. Kwasi, what's the issue? Isabel, Tolu, what's the issue?
It's not because I know the error, but at the default output format, you didn't put JSON. That's
Okay,
why.
let me go and put JSON. Enter, enter, JSON, Terraform, plan. Mm. Let me say this. This is the most common error you're gonna see in Terraform in your whole career, every single time. When you run Terraform apply and it works and everything, you leave your laptop for 4 hours, you come back, you will have to, when you run it again, you're gonna get this error. Your keys, your secret access key and your access keys on the job will expire every 4 hours because you're using better an IAM role. You're on a job, you will not get permanent access keys. You're gonna get access keys and secret access keys that only last for 4 hours. Every 4 hours, they would expire. So when you come around from apply, you're gonna see this error. The funny thing is, at the level of init, format, plan, validate, sorry, at the level of init, format, and validate, you're not gonna see it. But when you run a plan, that's the first thing that Terraform wants to connect to your account. So you need to use your access key and your secret access key and the region and connect to your account. This output has nothing to do with it. The reason why this is failing is because my access keys is invalid. Look at that. In my access key, I have the word clear because I typed clear. So it's an invalid key. It's invalid. If you wanted to see where the keys are stored in AWS, it's stored in the hidden folder. You're going to cd tilde dot AWS. This is where your keys are stored. If you do a cat on credentials, that's your keys. You see? Look at what the access key is. It's clear. I did this intentionally. The secret key is correct, but the access key is wrong. The access key is considered a username, programmatica username, and this is considered the password. So this is wrong, so we cannot connect. So what do I need to do? Go to AWS and grab a new set of credentials, and the issue will be fixed.
Is that back again?
Nope,
Okay.
you don't have to start back again from scratch. You can just write the plan and continue.
Okay.
The only time you start from scratch is when you change your code. You make huge changes to your code. I'm gonna go grab the access keys for command line interface. I understand, and next, and create access keys. And that's it. Copy the access key. Come here. Go back to where I used to be. Uh-oh. Go back to where I used to be and take me to SRE folder. No. take me to SRE folder. No, I gotta go to documents first. And then go to SRE. Okay, cool. I know my Linux. Linux is English language. I mean, I'm there. My files are in there. Cool. AWS configure. Grab the secret access key. US is 1. Even if you don't put it, doesn't matter because it's here. And that's it. Terraform plan. And now you're going to see a different error.
Okay. Mm.
No error. I was joking. You're going to create 6 resources. VPC creates first because everything creates in VPC. VPC creates first. And then subnets. And then the S2 bucket. And then EC2. And then IAM role and policy. And that's it. There's a command I want to give you guys. Terraform apply -auto -approve. That way you don't have to type yes when you have to wait to just say -auto approve. It means you're automatically approving it and you run that. That's it. And we're done with class for today. How do you get something to give you this code? I'm going to show you guys, obviously I still have EC2 issue. I paid my bill, but they don't want to give me some complications. I guess to give you guys Terraform cheat sheet. Terraform cheat sheet. The Terraform cheat sheet is this document here. It has all the Terraform commands, explanation about each command, Terraform destroy, everything is on here. How do I give it to you guys? Should I email it to you guys before email? Or put it in the chat here?
Email, please, is better.
You try.
Okay, I'll put it in the chat. I'm also gonna email it as well. Okay. But for right now, I'll say you guys need to practice Terraform, practice. And then on Thursday, we'll begin the other things that we're planning to do.
Wednesday?
Sorry, Wednesday. I said Wednesday. Sorry, Wednesday. Not Thursday. Wednesday. Okay, so that's it. Everything creates. I'm gonna go do a Terraform destroy -auto -approve. That way I don't have to wait for it to ask me, do you want to destroy it? And I say yes. No, it's gonna just automatically go down. That's it. If I don't want EC2 to create, I can just come here and highlight this and just do save that, and I'll come on and run it again. From apply. And it will create all 5 resources. Oh, I can cancel. It's a Terraform apply -auto -approve. That's it. Terraform destroy -auto. So I'll email you guys a cheat sheet and I'll email you guys these notes, okay? You practice using them. And that we're done. Wednesday, we're gonna begin depends on parameter. Talk about state file, the backend, and then we'll do list variables, and then we'll do Git. GitHub, I just want to tell you guys right now, go ahead and create your accounts in github.com. creating accounts. This is where we'll store code. So go to GitHub and create a free account. It's free. You don't have to pay for it. Completely free. Do not put your credit card on the laptop. It's free. Okay. GitHub is where CI/CD pipelines run. Okay. This is where CI/CD pipelines run. We're gonna create some basic CI/CD pipelines. I don't think I have any created yet. But yeah, I'll show you how some workflows work and runners and stuff like that. And then another thing, Terraform Cloud. I don't have an account myself, but let me create a Terraform Cloud account first and see how it works before you guys. I think I have an account. I might have an account already. Yeah, I do have an account, Terraform Cloud. I'm thinking if I should create an organization and add you guys as users, or you just create your own accounts and if I create an organization and just you guys just let me see, and I add users to it. I'm not sure yet. Oh, yeah, just create your own accounts. Yeah, just create a Terraform account, okay? Just go to Terraform Cloud, and create your own account. That's the site, Terraform Cloud. Yeah, just create your own accounts. Okay, guys, create your accounts with I'll send an email again about this, but just create your own account on Terraform Cloud and github.com. Okay, those two accounts. All right, and I'll see you guys Wednesday, and we'll do some more Terraform, and we'll do some Git, and we'll call it a day on Wednesday. Last day of class is March 5th. I hope you have gone live and you're applying jobs.